Hi guys, welcome to this quick video on the law of God. So first off, we got to ask the question, what is the law of God? So the law of God is what Moses was given by God on Mount Sinai, the 10 Commandments. We see this in Exodus chapter 20. Next question, is the law of God done away with? So let's look at Matthew 5, verse 17. It says, "Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass away, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled." So I'm recording this video today from the earth. So this shows us that since the earth is still here and the heavens are still there, the law has not been done away with. It says not one jot or tittle can even be done away with. It's easier for that. Another verse to back this up is Luke chapter 16, verses 16 through 17. So it says that Jesus fulfilled the law in this. What does it mean for Jesus to fulfill the law? So in John 14:15 he says, "If you love me, keep my commandments." So if we love him, keep his commandments. What commandment or commandments is he talking about? So in John chapter 15, verse 12, he says, "This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you." So this is beautiful. Jesus is saying, this is my commandment, love one another. So if we love him, we will love others. This is what he's telling us. And just to deepen this a little bit more, let's go to Matthew 22. Matthew 22, we're looking at verse 36 through 40. So it says right here, "Master, which is the great commandment in the law?" There's a lawyer trying to tempt Jesus. Jesus said unto him, "Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it, Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Of these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets." So the law and the prophets, we could speak about it as, the entire Bible, because it's comprised of the law, which is considered the first 5 books of the Bible, as well as the prophets, everybody who wrote the Bible after that. So he's saying we could kind of comprise not only the law of God, but even the Bible in these 2 commandments. So Jesus earlier was saying, if you love me, or if you love me, keep my commandments. This is my commandment, that you love one another. But here he deepens it even more. He says, this is the commandment that I've given you. It's to love God and love your neighbor. Here he's kind of using the law of loving God as the first 4 commandments found in the 10 commandments. And then also the last 6 commandments are, to love your neighbor as yourself. So the next question we have to ask ourselves is, what is sin? This is answered in 1 John 3:4. "Whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law." So we see here that to break the law he's speaking about here is the 10 Commandments, because that's the law that's kept, or that is spoken about it from Jesus as still being valid, is sin. If we break these, it's sin. This is the definition of sin, is breaking the 10 Commandments, any of them. In James it even says that to break one of the commandments is to break all of them. The next question is, what law was nailed to the cross? So I've heard this question a lot of times. I've posed it myself in the past. So Colossians 2:14 talks about this. It says, "Blotting out the handwriting of ordinances that was against us, which was contrary to us, and took it out of the way, nailing it to the cross." So we see here that there was handwriting of ordinances that was against us, that was contrary, and it was taken out of the way. It was nailed to the cross. So there is something that was done away with at the cross that was nailed to it. What handwriting is this? So we know the 10 Commandments were written by the finger of God. And we know that the law of Moses, the sacrificial system, was written by Moses' hands. It's a handwriting of ordinances. This is what you must do if you commit this sin and this sin. And just to kind of back this up, let's go to Matthew 27:51. I'm just going to paraphrase it. You guys can go to it. It says that when Jesus died, there was a giant curtain within the temple that was torn in 2 from the top to the bottom. So from the top to the bottom infers that it was God that was doing this. He was taking this out of the way. So what does this mean? So within the sanctuary, the temple, a lot of events happen, including the courtyard, obviously. This is where people would go to give their sin offerings, their trespass offerings, their peace offerings, all the different offerings, as well as they used the temple and the surroundings for the different feasts that occurred throughout the year. This was the sacrificial system. This is where the hub of the sacrificial system, where everything went. So when Jesus died, he did kill the sacrificial system. It ended. because he was the perfect sacrifice. He was the Lamb of God, slain from the foundation of the world. The next question is law-keeping legalism. I think it is if we are trying to do it to be saved. I definitely think it is then. However, in John 14, it says, if you love me, keep my commandments. So we see there, if we love God, if we love Jesus, we're going to naturally want to keep his commandments. That's not legalism to love, is it? I don't think so. And in James 2:26, he says, faith without works is dead. So we know that we're saved by grace, the grace of Jesus and God the Father, through faith. We grab hold of that promise, that gift, through faith. And James here says that faith without works is dead. So if we have faith, we will have works as well. James says without it, our faith is dead. And the works that he's talking about is the commandments. It's God's character being replicated. We love one another. We love God. These are the works that he's called us to. This is not legalism. Works are simply proof that we're saved. If our works are to save us, then yes, it's legalism. But if it's through faith, works simply prove that we're saved. So I just want to share the law is a beautiful thing. Jesus deepened the law, and we see this through Matthew 5:21 through 30, as he's speaking about adultery and murder beginning in the heart, with the mere thoughts and desires to hate or to lust. Galatians 3:24 talks about the law being our schoolmaster, which sends us to Jesus. And in John 15:11, Jesus says that our joy is fulfilled as we keep his law.